Hi guys, welcome back to MBA Pulse. This is a time where most of the management institutes, PGDM as well as MBA institutions have, gone through a process of filtration as well as personal interview process, which are still on for some of the institutes. But most of the good B schools have closed applications, and the PI process is on. And if you're a prudent management education seeker, you would have selected good institution based on the inputs of 5 pulses I have given, and I hope it was useful to you in making a selection of a good management institution. Even at this stage, I just want to reiterate the fact, you can still, say no to an institution if you find that you get a better institution till they start the course. So courses of PGDM institutions may start sometime in June end or July. So they are bound to refund you all the money you have paid except 1,000 rupees is per AICTE guidelines if they are AICTE regulated institutes. And now I'm going to talk something on the curriculum, which is going to be a focal area for you in the days to come, because you're going to get into management education. You must look at the curriculum before finalizing an institution. How good are they in terms of closeness to the industry? So that is the first thing, and whether the curriculum and courses are frequently modified according to the industry needs so that you are industry ready. So normal courses, the AICTE regulates, students have to go through at least 110 credits, but good institutions go through a process of 200 plus credit. So the credit can come in, various ways in various courses, plus other things other than the normal courses. Audit courses are also there, and you must look at those options very clearly while selecting a good institution. Normally, the first year is almost compulsory, so everybody will go through the similar thing. And I'll just give you the overview of the curriculum of PGDM institution typically. And there may be differences between, the courses which I'm talking about in some of the institutions, but basically you must be covering all these things in the credits offered so far in the 2-year PGDM courses. The first subject, the semester 1, will be normally principles and practices of management, and human psychology and organizational behavior, and accounting for business decisions. So not just accounting for business decisions is important, and basics of management of manufacturing industry, and basics of innovation and entrepreneurship. These are the new subjects which good PGDM institution will look up. And then basics of startup, what they are, and basics of marketing, sometimes they call it marketing 1, and business statistics, and basis of analytics. So basis of analytics is very, very important. Ensure that whichever institution you select, they do have this. The basics of HRM and basics of strategy formulation. So these are the pillars of management education. So this all the basics are covered generally in first semester courses. Then we are talking about some of the institutions may have longer orientation, wherein they will also have foundation of covering all these basics. It can prolong from 15 days to 30 days, and you need to actually get through the foundation course to be eligible to move on to the next semester. And the second semester, basically, we start looking at their compulsory electives. So marketing management is definitely one, and financial management for finance is one, and HRM for HR people, and operations and supply chain management, which is very, very important, and business research methods. So that is also across. It is this course has to go through, and business environment, and also about where the decisions are involved, how the business environments are considered, and how decisions are taken. That is another subject. And many institutions will have winter project, which is basically a socially sensitive project connected to NGO. So it can range between 15 days to 30 days. So you have to go and work along with an NGO on a specific area of socially sensitive thing. It could be CSR as well. Then we move on to the semester 3, basically, then we are again getting into compulsory elective courses. So in semester three, we also have summer internship or the business immersion. Some of the institutions call. So you will have semester three basically compulsory electives, business policies and strategic management. You have management control system across again, and when you talk about summer internship, some institutions call business immersion. I would like to call that, and very good PGDM institutions have got longer business immersion program and a very serious business immersion program. It can range from 9 credits to 21 credits. Typically, a 3 credit course means you're talking about 30 hours. So, a 9 to 21 is a huge amount of credit. That means you are getting practical exposure. Select those institutes which have got longer business immersion, projects, not, 4 to 6 weeks just for the namesake of summer internship. You have to get practical exposure. So it is better to select an institution which has got a credits ranging from 9 to 21 credits, and there are institutions which are offering that. And then you have in semester three specialization for HR, for example. I can give strategic HRM is one of them definitely, and labor and social laws which are prevailing in the country. And HR analytics in details is normally taught by industry people when it comes to the third semester specialization. So it's not about teaching statistics by the normal professor working in an institution. So it's not theoretical, it is application oriented. So select an institution which hires an industry expert for analytics to teach in-depth application of analytics. And of course, the business communication is also important from HR angle. Then we talk about the marketing, which is very, very relevant in today's world because almost 65% of placements do happen in marketing. So you must give a good thought whether you should go for a dual specialization, marketing finance, marketing operations, marketing HR, something like that, because marketing is involved in some way or other in every single specialization we are talking about. So we will have, in HR, strategic HRM, HR analytics, business communication. And when it comes to marketing, we'll have consumer behavior, which is very, very important, and marketing research. And today, if we talk about consumer behavior, it is extended further. Consumer behavior in relation to the technologies used. So those institutions which are teaching this subject, technologies used. For example, most of the online transactions we are doing, we must be very thorough how the technology is working, how the marketing happens, at the backdrop or behind the scene to attract customers. So you might have seen some of the portals like Amazon, Flipkart. How do you get the messages and repeat messages, crop up, related products? All these things have to be shown to you along with technology. Otherwise, learning, consumer behavior alone will not happen the way you are looking at for the future. And marketing research is very, very important. It is to be again taught by a very good professor because this is going to be a critical thing for your future. So most of the things which are going to come up in terms of opportunities will be marketing research related thing. And then we have integrated marketing communication covering all aspects of communication of marketing. So it is not only about advertising and then corporate relations alone. And then we have certificate courses. Most of the B schools have very good certificate courses free. It's built in the fees. So it's around minimum 5 to 10 good courses. It's not you get a plethora of 17, 20 courses, which is of no use. You have to choose the certificate courses in terms of value. So if you have a certificate course, for example, NSC, and if they come for recruitment to your institutions, then you must look at this. And I was reading the report yesterday. The consulting is now, a sought out sort of stuff for recruitment. So if the institution is teaching good consulting practices to you with the professional, then you have a better opportunity to get picked up for consulting companies. So it could be McKinsey, it could be Boston Consulting, and any other consulting agency, Accenture. So you must look at these things very clearly before selecting an institution of PGDM or MBA, which is, good. And then when you talk about the specialization in the, fourth semester, again, it is a compulsory, subject according to the elective you are taking. And if you talk about HR, sustainability is one thing, and then corporate governance is number two, and then ethics, and then also political environment, which is coming up, in a big way nowadays. So, and then we have PMS, which is a performance management system. Also, compensation and benefit, comp and ben, we call it. That course is there in HR in specialization, and employee relations, employee welfare, and the laws related to that. And when you talk about the fourth semester, if you look at how it is designed in these schools, fourth semester number of subjects will be generally less because the placement started, process will start, and you will have a lot of companies visiting. So they want to actually bring down the number of courses in the fourth semester. Then in marketing, specialization when you're talking about in fourth semester, social media marketing is very important. Digital marketing is number two. Strategic marketing, and then innovation and entrepreneurship. This has to be clearly looked out by you because many institutions have not looked at it. And then in HR, we also talk about diversity, which is not covered in many institutions. Inclusiveness. It has to be shown as a specialization, not as just a track. And then finance specialization. When you talk about in the fourth semester, we have corporate finance normally, and we have behavioral finance, and we have finance for other than the banking sector, and banking and insurance is also very important. And on the operations side, you will have a decision tree, Lean Six Sigma, and manufacturing tools and analytics. Because manufacturing operations, many institutions don't offer a specialization because they're not capable of offering because they don't get enough number of companies for recruitment. But please look at this is an upcoming field, and post-COVID, you will also know that healthcare management is coming up in a big way. So it is also covered under a management subject, and also it is coming under the operations. And another thing COVID taught us is which some of the B schools will be looking at after seeing this video is definitely the remote operations. How do they manage remote operation in a situation like COVID running over for 1.5 years or so, and it's still going on. So how do you really operate your manufacturing and businesses remotely? So it is applicable even to marketing and remote operations. People have to look at it very, very clearly. And there are plethora of tracks which will be running in PGDM institutions. So if you talk about marketing, it could be on rural marketing, virtual marketing, marketing for financial services, customer relation management, and then you have entrepreneurship related thing. You have bottom of the pyramid management and services marketing and analytics for business and emerging trends in marketing. So another beautiful subject people should be looking at marketing and technology. So the another one which tracks which are not I've not seen many B schools. Definitely you should look at it. And when you talk about the fourth semester tracks, which normally will be covering in finance, is behavioral finance definitely is there, risk management, rural and finance and finance, which is very, very important, which many institutions don't offer. Investment analysis, commodities and derivatives. Derivatives is very, very important, though it is a difficult subject. And you have indirect taxation, you have project appraisals, and you have mergers and acquisitions. And the M&A has to be actually in marketing as well as in HR. But many of the B schools, I don't know why they are putting only under finance. It has to be cutting across the specialization. And corporate restructuring is very important for finance, and treasury operations and forex operations, which are very important tracks. So when you talk about HR specialization, learning and development, we call it L&D. And then we are talking about HR for the next generation, which is not there in many of the B schools curriculum. I have seen mentoring and coaching, competency mapping, and competency mapping analysis. Another thing which is missing in 90% of the B schools are ACDC, assessment center, and the another one is the DC is about how do you look at the employees for development. So it's called a development center, capability building center, whatever we call it. And many institutions don't have ACDC to develop capability. So the tracks have to be there for the future. And those institutions, PGDM offering this, you must look at it. And training and development is a normal track which is available. And statutory compliance is specific to HR. And then statutory compliance is for global. That is another subject or course which is missing in tracks in almost all business schools. These are the things you should look at if I have to give a bird's eye view on the curriculum. But definitely the PGDM institutions or MBA institutions offering around 180, 170, 210, something like the credits, which are going to rule the future in terms of opportunities in various areas. And those PGDM institutions which are offering more specialization and more towards futuristic, not the traditional specialization of only finance or marketing or HR. It has to go beyond that. So what I'm trying to say, it is all about blended learning, and it's about how we react to the environment. How do you sustain the management education for the future, and what are your opportunities globally? Post-COVID era, you must look at PGDM institutions which are very futuristic. Don't just take a decision because the fees is less, or they're offering something, some carrots to you. So take a wise decision. Please do watch my MBA Pulse videos. Also visit my website www.mba-pulse.com, and you can get back to me for any query related to your curriculum. And also if you want support or guidance, I already got 362 students enrolled in my website for mentoring process, and I will continue to do that work. I will definitely guide you to a good institution while selecting. Thank you so much for listening to me.